Have you ever made an uncertain decision in your life? One that changes things within the blink of an eye. And as you think through the night, it sinks to your mind that you can't rewind that. Now if you took it back to that same spot 2 seconds before you made that decision, you wasn't thinking you were an idiot. Now you whisper, hoping and wishing, hoping no one is listening, but it still don't make a difference, because you're left with regretful decisions. So I'm hoping and wishing, hoping you're listening, that this message gets delivered. I wish you could switch places for a day or two, because I'm reliving this moment like a deja vu. I wish I was there when they came for you. I know I'm clueless about the truth, but if what they're saying is true, I'd rather be there instead of you. Take me to your life after death. I feel gone, but I ain't dead yet. I've been walking for a while trying to find the trails of your footsteps. I heard it's the best steps to what's next. I'm tired of referring to your name as a past tense. If God is still alive, I want to look him in the eye and ask him, why my mother's offspring? That's another unborn child left to be brought up as a bastard. Now, my mind is numb to this dumb shit when I reminisce about the times we held our first clip, a full clip, being elusive, our first time faced with seriousness. But let's face it, only one of us made it. But this isn't the cause for a celebration. You can't celebrate the death of a life that's been wasted. The second time, they caught him on the pavement, paving the way for changes. A passerby said it seemed he got into a conflict with a distant stranger. Yeah, that distant stranger was a stranger before we nailed him. Now through the sun and the rain, the white chalk remains in the shade, engraved in a stone his memory lives on. Now when I look at his fatherless child, I know she has her father in mind, hoping in time he'll return with a big surprise, and I know I went away without a goodbye. But my child, I'm back in good time. If my brother could, he would. So in his absence I stood overlooking his body, looking at me, another fallen branch in the trees. His eyes were still open. So when he didn't respond, I thought he was joking. But there his body slouched, life is permanently sleeping. I swear to God, I've never seen a man with perfect vocal cords go speechless as the preacher preaches. But I kept that a secret. As my knees weaken, I'm reminded to keep my tears for safekeepings. We created our own demons. He just got caught slipping. His emotion got me tripping, thinking, damn, dude, it was just yesterday he was at my yard eating up my food. I want to go back to that evening, but I can't. So I called that day got even. Prior to that moment, we could spot a fly approaching. No one needed to tell us nothing. He looked at us hard, so we rushed him. But we didn't see this coming. We gave him a kick in 42 stitches, and he gave us a memory. Things played out differently. In 2010, my childhood friend took 6 to the head. But it doesn't make him less intelligent. If anything, that's the only time he used his head as a reference. He called it, I'm just living. Rolling in and out of prison, just living. So if there's a hell that's willing to forgive him, then he's forgiven. Ultimately, that's where his story diminished. Where's the point to your beginning? Paying for a funeral ain't easy, and I'm sure this feeling grieves us both equally. My girlfriend asked, why everything that come from your mouth has to be so dark? So I told her to point me where the matches is, to shed some lights on these savages. I can't heal my mother's pain with apologies, so let's call that one a truce. This problem just got bigger than us too. This is bigger than a man killing a man with a woman joining the force hand in hand. This is bigger than a man slapping a woman, adults abused and adolescents. This is universal. This is bigger than massacres in colleges. I'm talking about taking a look at ourselves. That's where the problem is. I can recall trying to console his mother's feeling over the hole as the coffin got lowered deeper and deeper, until we could no longer reach it, telling her how much he loved her, how much I loved him. Reflecting on the letter I attempted to write him, saying all the right things just before my pen ran out of ink. Then I stopped to think, why didn't I tell him? Why didn't I tell my brother all these things before he became extinct? Why didn't I tell my brother he mattered? Why didn't I tell my brother he's here for a purpose? Why do we wait for the morgue, the cop, and the churches? Fuck that, let's reverse this. You tell him, you tell her, we need to nurture one another. Fuck shedding blood, let's shed love for one another. We were taught to divide and fall. Let's stand up through it all for one another.